Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video we're going to learn how to extract JavaScript variables from script tags within the HTML pages we're scraping, and how to actually convert them to the Python variables. Well, basically almost the most interest for us is the Python dictionaries. So considering this JavaScript object, so it may be like it's basically a JSON, or if this is a JavaScript, this is just a variable. This is the object containing the keys and values. So we need to extract, we need to parse the JavaScript, so to distinguish the variable name and the value, and then try and at the very end to have a list of dictionaries that would be containing the variable name on the one hand and its value on the other hand. So let's consider a site, one that I'm currently working on in regards to web scraping. So this is my ongoing web scraping project. We're scraping real estate properties from the Switzerland-based site, which is called homegate.ch. and if we have a look at the structure, it's really kind of lots of interesting information over here. But if I have a look at the page source, then it turns out that the most of data is actually available in the form of a script tag. So let me just kind of show you this. So you see, like, really lots of sensitive information is available as a script tags. And even though I didn't use this kind of link format in particular, but with only slash instead of double slashes, but still that technique was quite similar. So we'll actually make in this video we'll make an outgoing HTTP request to this particular URL endpoint, grab all the data from the script tags. I'll be using request and beautiful soup for simplicity, even though I'm used to use Scrapy in my real world web scraping projects, especially when dealing with a large data, with a massive data scraping. But still, request and beautiful soup are kind of more beginners friendly, so I'll be using them in this video. And finally, we'll be able to reference these JavaScript variables like this one or this one. We'll be able to reference them as if they were Python variables. So this is kind of the topic of this video. So if you're interested, well, let's actually start writing some code. So the trick to obtain our goal would be to use the regular expressions. And here I've just pasted some JavaScript variable definitions, and we're using REGEX 101.com in order to compose the regular expression to extract the appropriate data. So I've been playing around with this, and eventually I came up with a regular expression like this. So we need to match the three groups. So the central group would be the equal sign that we are looking for to distinguish between the variable name and its value. And obviously it might not have the fixed number of spaces and things like that, but you know, like, it's always a field for improvement when you write a regular expression. But I personally think that it's better to compose them on your own, because at least you will understand what in particular they are doing, compared to if you're grabbing someone else's regular expression and embedding that in your production code, and it might turn out as a complete disaster because of the undefined behavior. Because if you don't understand the regular expression, how it works in particular, it might give completely wrong results. So in order to match the variable name, I'm using the dot, which stands for match any character except line terminators, and we want as many times as possible to actually keep looking for this. So as many as needed. Then we'll get rid of this var keyword. We don't need this, but still. And here in the matching group, we need the set of characters, again as many as we have, and we're looking for all the characters apart from the column. And suddenly we're having our data being structured pretty nicely. So we have exactly what we need. The variable name equal sign would be dropped later on, and the variable content itself. So this is kind of logic. You know, bearing on this regular expression, we'll draft a simple script to extract data from the variables available on this page in particular. So let me just quickly try to grab this link, and I've created a source code file called vars.py in the current working directory. So if you're interested, let's actually start writing some code. So first we need to import some packages, and I say import requests that is needed to make an outgoing HTTP request, and from bs4 import beautiful soup. Also, we'll need to import the JSON module to print our response. We need to import regular expressions themselves to being able to extract the variables from the JavaScript sources. And before we start, actually, let me just invoke the terminal, the current working directory. So for those of you who don't have request or beautiful soup installed, this can be done, well, on Windows you would probably need simply to say like pip install and say requests, and that's it. But I'm on Linux, so I also need to say sudo and specify the pip version because I have many pips installed, and click enter. But I'll obviously have all these libraries installed, so it gives me the requirement already been satisfied. And same for beautiful soup, you need to say pip install bs4. And one of the dependencies of the beautiful soup we're supposed to use in this video is called the LXML parser, so we need to install that as well. JSON and regular expressions are the standard modules, so we don't need to install them separately. Okay, so now we need to make outgoing HTTP request to the particular URL endpoint, and we're creating a response object that would be equal to requests.get. And here I'll use this link we're interested in as the source for the JavaScript variables within the script tags. And the next thing to consider is actually to parse the content, and here we'll make use of the beautiful soup itself. So I say content equals to beautiful soup, and the first argument is the response.text, which is the textual content of the response object, and where the second argument would be the LXML parser that would allow us to actually create the DOM structure, parse the DOM structure, create a tree-like object from the content to being able to find the elements in it recursively, and script text in particular. So the next thing to consider, we need to extract the script text. So extract scripts. So scripts would be equal content dot find all, and we're specifying the tag name, simply script like this, and also no, this is it. So if you just now have a look at our scripts, that it will give us the scripts enclosed by the tags. Oh, sorry. I say Python 3 and vars.py. Okay. So, but we need to get rid of those script tags. That's why I'm going to use the list comprehension technique to filter the list the following way. So we can simply say script.text. So we're extracting. So the script in this case. So okay, let me just script for script in. So here is the list comprehension. Well, the script is a type of beautiful soup element, and we can recursively find for the elements. But as far as there are no elements within the script text, we can just reference the text attributes. So just to being able to extract the pure JavaScript from the script text, drop in the script tags themselves. So as if we just kind of make this one more time, we see that no script tags available anymore. And one more thing to consider, that we can actually use the new line to join all the scripts into one source, because there is kind of no need to use them separately, because we're interested in all the variables in particular in this tutorial case at least. So now we'll see that the scripts would be not the list anymore, but just the bare string. So all the variables like window require, all this stuff. So we'll just be extracting these guys now. Okay, and now the most interesting stuff begins basically. And in order to obtain, in order to extract the variables, we need first to define the match pattern. So call this match scripts. So here I say define regex match pattern, pattern like this. So match scripts would be equal to regular expressions dot find all. Oh, sorry, it's not like this. Probably like this instead. And we're using the regular expression prefix here. And exactly what we've provided. So variable name followed by the equal sign enclosed within the spaces. So remember, this can be proved. And finally, we're looking for whatever character as many times as possible. All the characters apart from the colon, like this. So I guess, okay, and of course the very important thing is to provide the scripts here as the second argument. So the string we're trying to match this pattern in. So if we just try to print match scripts, oh sorry, like this, then we'll have a list of tuples. Oh, match scripts. We'll get a list of tuples containing the variable name equals sign. Okay, so let me just try to pick up some, I don't know, some random index. Okay, so var supports this equals sign, and this time we have a function, but yeah. So the next thing to process this, so obviously we won't be able to process all the variables, but we're not actually looking for all the variables, but only those that have an object like content, like which is equal to Python dictionary. And also we need to get rid of this var keyword as well, and also we don't need this equal sign. So let's basically try to create result variables list, not a result, let's call this extracted variables list, and I call this just simply variables. That would be the type of list. And as far as match scripts is the type of list, we can loop over the matched patterns. So we say simply loop over matched patterns, and we say for, let's call this variable, for variable in match scripts. Okay, so let's print the type of variable. This probably should be a tuple, I guess. So variable, just to check that out, I guess those are tuples. So yeah, as far as these are the tuples, we can reference by indexes. So we have the very first index covering actually the variable name, like this. Okay, so can't load it. Sometimes it has the var keyword, sometimes not. And the index of 1, the second element would be the equal sign always, and the index 2 and the third element would actually be the content itself. So now we need to compose a dictionary. So eventually we'll populate and initialize our variables list. So we can simply say like variables dot append, and we will be using this variable indexed by the first element as the key, and we will be using variable indexed by the index of 2 as the value. But this is not yet enough. Let me try to show you why. So here I just would like to print some debugging information. So like again, for variable in, let's actually call this print extracted variables. So for variable in, and this time variables instead of matched patterns or matched scripts, variables, and print. And now just to print this, I will use the json dumps method. So I say json dumps. Well, okay, hold on a sec. They are not yet being converted to yeah, they've not been yet been converted to the Python dictionary, so that won't work. So let's first just try to print the variable itself. So yeah, what I want to show you guys is variable is not defined. Variable copy paste. Sorry, well, what's not defined there? Line 24. Okay, just a typo. Okay, so we have like the variable name is just fine, and if the value is a single string, that is fine as well. But for this sort of guys, they are treated to be the string instead of a dictionary, so we need to use the JSON loads in order to deal with those. And also there is a problem with this var keywords and some unnecessary trailing spaces. Well, even though this stuff won't be really converted, but we don't even need that as well, but still. So we need simply to say here dot replace, so we're replacing the variable keyword with literally nothing, and also we need to strip the results. Okay, and also we need to say json.loads and the variable too, but this won't be kind of possible for all the cases. So just give us an error because not JSON serializable for many guys like you see here. So that means that we need to try to extract only those variables that have object like or dictionary like or list or string or integer. So just the bare variables basically in JavaScript. Sap pass, and now this should work, I believe. Okay, so we have the kind loaded and false, kind loaded true. Okay, so and now yeah, really lots of. Okay, so I guess maybe some. Well, let me just now actually I think I can use json.dumps and the variable, and also specify the indentation equals to 2 spaces. Okay, so yeah, you see, like now this is the Python variables, which is really cool. Well, I'll be referencing them by the key names really soon. Just want to have a look at the very beginning of what we got there actually. So not exactly sure what is this all about, to be honest. It seems to be slightly a bit strange, but I don't know. Well, I'm not sure what is this stuff all about, but nevertheless. So now let's have a look at the source code again, and here we have a variable name called like this window.html18, just want to try to find that. So here we're actually print all parsed variables, and here we can simply say we'll want to print separate nested maybe just nested print nested value of a given variable like this. So now let's actually try to look for the variable with the key equal to this string. So we're looking for now let's try to find the particular variable. So okay, let's just cut this. So find variable, and okay, copy and paste within available variables. So we can simply say if, and now we're looking for variable but we need to convert this to a list first, and then we can reference the verb first element, and if it equals to what we're looking for, print okay, let's just print found for a while, and then we'll see later on. Okay, so we did find one. So but why is this actually okay? Let's actually break after, so not to print anything after. And here we can say we want to, let's say, print variable, and yeah, again, like we're using this this key as the key reference. And let's try to extract some sort of a nested variable from within this one. So let's go for this the and phrases maybe. So well, let's be diving in key by key basically. So let's try to look for this guy, and also I want to say JSON dumps and specify the indentation equals to 2 spaces as always. So print let's call this specific nested variable. Okay, so specific nested variable, so here it is. Okay, let me just add a couple of new lines here. And let's say we don't need all this stuff, but we need only the phrases. So let's reference the phrases, save. Okay, now last data, and let's go for auto suggest basically, and like this. Okay. And finally filter, say, well, which one to consider. Let's say filter edit. Okay, even though it doesn't seem to make sense from the data scraping perspective, but still, so I say filter and edit. Okay, save, run. Okay, so, and we've just extracted the nested variable from the, first it was a JavaScript object, but then we did extract the variable, converted it into the Python dictionary, and eventually using the referencing keys recursively we did obtain the value of the specific nested variable here. Well guys, I guess this is it regarding this tutorial. So I don't know, maybe I will provide, I will try to separate the code that is responsible for data extraction of this kind of variables, and try to create some sort of kind of open source like project, the very little, that simple one, basing on the only a regular expression that can be altered, of course, by any one of you. So to make it actually easier to extract those variables, so instead of writing all this code, just to be able to use that library. And if I ever do that, I'll probably make another video showing how exactly that library can be easily used to extract this variables and their values, their corresponding values from within script tags in the HTML page we're now scraping. Okay guys, so I hope you learned something interesting out of this video. So until the next time, and take care.